Barr promised he was going to do a thorough investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Instead, he did a total cover-up. These are the facts. They have been lying to us since Jeffrey Epstein demise.
This morning, the question on many minds. How did Jeffrey Epstein die while in federal custody? The medical examiner completing an autopsy, but not releasing an official cause of death overnight, instead saying she needs more information. Law enforcement sources tell NBC News 66-year-old Epstein hanged himself inside his jail cell Saturday morning. The FBI is now investigating. An appalled Attorney General, William Barr, ordering the Inspector General to look into the matter too. Sources tell NBC News Epstein was taken off suicide watch after a psychiatric evaluation around July 29, less than a week after he was found injured in his cell with marks on his neck. Cameron Lindsay served as a warden at the prison's sister facility in Brooklyn.
If this individual was taken off suicide watch, from my perspective, it's a mistake, because I think you just have to take the conservative route.
While on suicide watch, Epstein would have been monitored 24/7. Instead, he was in a cell where checks were supposed to occur twice every hour. The Inspector General now looking into whether that protocol was followed, according to people briefed on the matter. The unanswered questions, together with Epstein's wealth and powerful friends, leading to a number of conspiracy theories.
I am not a conspiracy theorist, but something's way too convenient here, and we need to get down to the bottom of what happened.
President Trump, who had personal ties to Epstein, but says he has not spoken to him in over a decade, retweeted an unfounded theory that former President Bill Clinton was connected to Epstein's death. A spokesman for Clinton tweeting, "Ridiculous and of course not true, and Donald Trump knows it." According to a senior law enforcement official, there is nothing to suggest foul play. Epstein was charged back in July and pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking and conspiracy charges. The indictment said he paid young girls hundreds of dollars for sex at his luxury homes in Manhattan and Palm Beach.
Did Jeffrey Epstein rape you?
Yeah, no, he raped me. Forcefully raped me, but knew exactly what he was doing.
Epstein's accusers, including Jennifer Rose, have waited many years to face the 66-year-old in criminal court.
He really stole a big part of my life.
Now, she says, we have to live with the scars of his actions for the rest of our lives, while he will never face the consequences of the crimes he committed.
Before I begin, I'd like to briefly address news from the Manhattan Correctional Center over the weekend regarding Jeffrey Epstein. This sex trafficking case was very important to the Department of Justice and to me personally. It was important to the dedicated prosecutors in the Southern District of New York and to our FBI agents who investigated the case and were preparing it for trial. Most importantly, this case was important to the victims who had the courage to come forward and deserve the opportunity to confront the accused in the courtroom. I was appalled, and indeed the whole department was, and frankly, angry to learn of the MCC's failure to adequately secure this prisoner. We are now learning of serious irregularities at this facility that are deeply concerning and demand a thorough investigation. The FBI and the Office of Inspector General are doing just that. We will get to the bottom of what happened, and there will be accountability. But let me assure you that this case will continue on against anyone who was complicit with Epstein. Any co-conspirators should not rest easy. The victims deserve justice, and they will get it.
It was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. And I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.